Sanibonani dumelang absheni hello. Gama kuthokozani lisedikhanya. Mkhulu Makhenikha umsamo, umprofeti ohamba nengelosi zesibhakabhaka. Ngihamba noMkhulu Sseida, igedla nama-skr. Inyanga yama skr.
Makhosi. Ngiphethe umprofeti la, umprofeti wenkanyezi, inyanga yamashishishilo njengoba ashilo la. Ya, gedla lamakhosi, hamba nengilosi yasebusuku, hosana. Siyanibonga mani kini nonke enibuke i-channel yethu la ku-Kemi TV. Kini nina that have been offended, la esinyathela ama-cons khona, siyasithoba. We are simply doing the work yethonga, makhosi.
Namhlanje ngicela ukuthi sikhulume ngamaphupho akhomba Isthunywa. We already did a Isthunywa video. Today we just want to focus specifically on Amaphupho, the Amaphupho aspect of it. Ukuthi, what kind of dreams tell me Ukuthi I might have, for those of us that don't know or haven't realized who we are and ourselves, and what dreams can alert me to such?
Makhosi. The simplest, Ketla. Let's start with the light ones and then go to the rare ones. The light ones, nina bantwana bomoya, baprofeti, nina eninokuthandaza. I'm sure most of you have dreamt, or what you will see eventually will be uzibona usesontweni noma kugcwele abantu besonto.
Okay.
Various kinds. Some of you will see from different churches, Apostoli, Zion, Cliff.
But then does it have to be, what's the word? There's a word for this, I'm just forgetting it now. Does it have to be those apostolic, Zionic, African churches? Does it apply that umuntu angaphuphi sonto, but it's the charismatic ones?
Not necessarily. It won't always be that. You might see that. For instance, without ukujula kakhulu uveze. Mina because ngangenwa umoya wehosana, because ngangenwa ingilosi yasebusuku, bengisiphupha ngize ngihamba namaJuda at a synagogue. So it will just be a dream where uzibona you congregated with religious people. You have Isthunywa of some sort, because Isthunywa zahluka njengoba uwazi khehla kunezithunywa zasentabeni, nesithunywa esale sonto engeke ngilisho, kunesithunywa sasemanzini, kunezithunywa eziningi, kunesithunywa sesibhakabhaka, nesithunywa sasey'nkanyezini. So it'll depend on the type of spirit, but it will somehow do its best to communicate to you ukuthi unesithunywa, umuntu ekumele asebenze ngani, ngamanzi nomoya.
Okay, ngicela ukungena and pose hopefully an intelligent question to say, if Isthunywa is umoya ohlanzekile that comes from the source, am I then correct in saying that Isthunywa doesn't care about religion, it just cares about you connecting to the source, and that it doesn't really require a Bible, it requires you to connect to source, whatever that may look like for you. So whether it's a Bible, the Quran, or whether it's an ankh, a cross, a half moon, am I correct in saying the things that I'm saying? Or what is Mkhulu Sseida's view or take?
That's a powerful question, and it's gonna need me to go into esotericism. And let me explain to you guys first before Paula umbuzo wakhetha ukuthi what is esotericism? Esotericism is any teaching, any spiritual teaching in its hidden form, in its symbolic form. It's esoteric, it is hidden, it is occult.
That is true.
Exoteric means revealed. The religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and so forth, are exoteric spiritual teachings. They are what
has been revealed.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, please.
No, you're correct. When Yeshua Mashiach, it is coming on Prophet Mkhulu Futhi, blessed be his name. When Yeshua Mashiach was here, he said to his followers, To them, I speak in illustrations, but to you, I say it as it is. He was saying to the world it is exoteric. To you, it is esoteric. So, what are we trying to say here? Isthunywa sakho masivela, it will come exoterically. It will come through a religion. Ukuthi, mina, I used to follow this, and this is the path that led me to the source. Or mina, I used to follow Zion. This is the path that led me to the source. But they are all from the source. They are all from the light. It's just that the light is shining through different lenses. One through a blue lens, one through a red lens, one through a yellow lens, and so forth. So they are all working for the source. But because the hidden God, because the true faceless God, genderless God, is so vast in potential, he manifests, or it or she manifests so many dynamic facets of itself. That's why even in the smallest thing, even in ants, Kehla, you see how dynamic in their types they are. Even in humans, you see how dynamic that, even in fruits. So going back to what you're asking, Isthunywa uzophupha abantu baseZion ngoba your grandma found the source of God through that path. Uzophupha amaJuda because one of your ancestors found the source through that path. But all paths are leading to the one and true unknown God, the faceless one, Makhosi.
No, and I asked that question because if Isthunywa is strictly about kwamele ufunda iBhayibheli uyeka upostola kwasha kwacima, if ngempela lo moya ungumoya ohlanzekile, isithunywa sikamenzi from uNkulunkulu, ne? Then what happened before the apostolic churches and the Bibles were written, and how did humans connect with Isthunywa then? Which then breeds the thought that it's not so much about the variant of church or exoteric spirituality, but it's more about connecting to source.
Makhosi.
And that's where I was going.
Makhosi Kehla uyithinte khona, and I can't even add to what you've just said. It's not ningalahleki. And ngizoyisho lento Kehla. I want you guys to understand this because this is Kemi TV, and I'm sure from all of you who have been our followers up until now, you know ukuthi sibeka injalo no. There is no true religion. There is a true source. To even use the word God is watering down what we are really talking about here. Indelelo kahle kahle ukubiza lento God, because it's trying to box in a spirit and thing that is too big to explain. But because it itself knows how large it is, it breaks itself down in order to be understood at our level. So to you, it might manifest, as Uketla is saying, through apostolic church, abanye through Judaism, abanye through this, through that. And within these religions, you will always have opportunistic men and women that will take it and capitalize. But at the exoteric source of it, it is the source trying to show one of its faces. And thus, Isthunywa sakho, if it was ugogo ohamba eSt. John, ugogo ohamba eZion, if the ugogo or ukhokho ebeku isala isulmani, they will appear to you to show you ukuthi I am a religious church going person. And you have been gifted the gift of spirit. I declare, spirit, you are somebody who prays and uses the universal spirit to heal and guide people.
Mkhulu, uzothi khona isithunywa sendalo nesithunywa sebandla. What's your take on that?
In one of our videos,
let me put it like this. Is it possible for umuntu to have spirits that are specific about ham yesontweni, sikufuna yesontweni, and then if that person doesn't listen and decides to pursue it in a different way, is such a thing possible? Sizophakama isithunywa noma cha? I'm sorry to do this to you, but
no. That's a good question, because khona abanye abantu uzothi umuntu ungenwe isithunywa saseZayoni,
yeah,
uloko eziphupha agcoke ijazi elimhlophe, agcoke iy'ntambo eziblue. Akayifuni leyo nto, akafuni ukuloka around angacedi yena. Aloka around, yebo phela. Omunye umuntu uzocomplain, hey, nami nesithunywa saseZayoni, that's why ingathi ngiphakamele
that's why I'm laughing. I saw it, but Gatula.
Yazi now. So some of you will experience that and be like, I don't want to do that.
For whatever
reason, isithunywa sakho will be pleased ngokuthi uyajula ngomthandazo, uyaya emanzini, uyaya entabeni. At the crux of it, Kehla, it's about you being able to connect and be clean. It's not about the dogma of whatever specific church you're from. You know, it's not really about the specific dogma or ukuthi bafuna ukuthi ube nomfundisi ubani bani bani. It's just about the fact ukuthi mntanami, I came through this route. I think this is the best route for you to go through. And then now and again, because ungeno loyo moya, you will have to visit. It doesn't mean every Sunday manje kumele uloku around ungacedi. It just means ukuthi now and again kuzomela uyezayo, now ugogo kumele umgqokise into yakhe, uthole lelo jazi, uyithole leyo ntambo, uthandaze emanzini, uye entabeni.
Okay, but the mthandazo part is not an now and again thing. That's an everyday thing. That's Mkhulu Makhenikha is saying that ukuthi uthandaze. That's not a now and again thing. Wayenza now and again uzothola into ekumele uyithole. No, okay. I just wanted to hammer that point in. Yoguti Isthunywa is about connecting to source more than it is about the religions of men and the traditions of those who claim to be holier than thou or whatever. But anyway, isihloko sithi Amaphupho akhomba Isthunywa. I'll say dreaming of candles. Dreaming of candles is also an indication of ukuthi uhamba nesithunywa, because isithunywa requires that you could, as I said, connect with source, and candles are a very good way of connecting to source. Amaphupho akhomba isithunywa, ukuphupha, it's very complicated because a lot of these dreams, they are unanimous or what's the word, common amongst all the different flavors of spiritual giftedness. So some of the things you mentioned might coincide with umuntu ahamba namadlozi wobungoma, umuntu ahamba namagedla. Amaphupho akhomba isithunywa, ukuphupha usemanzini, ukuphupha impophoma, ukuphupha ulwandle, seashells.
Isithunywa sasemanzini, makhosi. Ukusiphupha usentabeni ukhuleka, on top of a mountain, isithunywa sasentabeni. Just like Mkhulu is saying, usiphupha usemanzini ukhuleka, uthandazela amanzi. Ukusiphupha uthandaza.
Before we move away from the elements, I just wanted to say ukuthi Mkhulu Makhenikha is saying those are elements that represent a differentiation of the source. Nature is a good way of connecting to source, and that is why Isthunywa sakho requires you to go ehlani, to go emanzini, to go empophoma. Emanzini ukuzigeza. We can do a whole video about amanzi.
Let me tap into it. Sorry,
it's okay.
Let's tap into it. The esoteric, the exoteric name that you guys hear, Jehovah or Yahweh, was hijacked by an entity that but the name Yahweh was hijacked by someone who is not Yahweh. The name Yahweh originally, Hosanna, the name Yahweh originally in esotericism was spelled YHWH, Yod He Vav He, and Yod He Vav He are the 4 elements.
Oh snap! I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
And
Okay.
that's why the Spirit of God will manifest through the 4 elements.
Okay.
It's ingajuli kakhulu makhosi.
Okay. No. I just before because you were going to speak about something after the elements. Upuputhandaza. You were going to go there.
Ukuziphuputhandaza emanzini. It's God, as I've mentioned. He's connected to the 4 elements through Isthunywa sakho saying, I am connecting to this child through water. It is God entabeni saying, I am connecting to this child through the earth. So Isthunywa sakho will be, they can't use the full power of the source or the full face of the source. They can only use one aspect. And so uzoziphupa uthandaza at one of these places to show you ukuthi in your family lineage, this is how you connect to the source.
Ukuphupa ufufa.
Yeah. It's strange because not a lot of us have had that dream, and sometimes it means something else. Ukhumbule ukuthi nokuziphupha ufufa kubika amandla wakho. Spiritually, it might not necessarily mean you are Unesthunywa. It could just mean spiritually you are an advanced child. Indigo children, there's such thing called indigo children. Spiritually, these new generation kids that are born already spiritually accelerated.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like you hear stories about a 7-year-old healer operating at the level of ukobela.
Exactly.
Alapha abantu.
Uzoziphupha fufa tshela ukuthi mama ngiphuphe ngifufa. That's just ukubika ukuthi loyo mntana unamandla ngomoya. But uma unesthunywa futhi uzoziphupha ufufa. If you dream of yourself flying along with the other dreams name power that we've mentioned in this video and other videos, know ukuthi there's a likelihood unesthunywa.
Injalo. What else? Amaphupho akhomba isthunywa.
Amabhayi.
Iphika
Nkosi yami namajazi.
Yes, like
that one no.
Yes.
Le I get you.
Yes.
Unesthunywa lapho.
Yes.
And I love that dream, Kehla, because it specifically points to the type of Isthunywa and the type of job you
Yes,
give.
it describes it. You are right. You are right. You would have to then do research on the exact bai or speaker you were showing. But I have to add, Ukuthi, Amapai, not every bai means Isthunywa. It's not Amapai, why, on it?
Yeah. If uphupha, for instance, le bai le limpangela, it's likelihood unabogogo. Ithunywa ezasemanzini, ithunywa esishesha ukuphawula. Amadlozi wasemanzini ashesha ukuphawula. What other bai or ijazi would be there? Predominantly, you guys will dream of yourself. Yeah. Peacock. And as well, uzoziphupha ugcoke impahla ezimhlophe.
Yes.
Or
yes.
ibhayi elimhlophe, pure white.
Yes.
Isithunywa leso futhi ke.
Yes.
Iphika ke angisafuni nokuzikhuluma namajazi. Lezo ziqonda ngqo esithunyweni.
Correct.
Futhi enye into ekumele siyibale ney'ntambo, amabhidani. Amabhidani naphupha uney'ntambo, amabhidani would be the ropes you wear on your hand, would be the large ropes ozobona abathandazi basigqoka. If uphupha lezo y'ntambo lezo esiphothiwe, know ukuthi unesithunywa and abantu bakini ingilosi yakho ufuna ukuthi ube namabhidani ney'ntambo.
Injalo Kehla. What about ukuphupha ukukhulekela abantu?
Nakanjani? Futhi lapho bakubonisa ngqo umsebenzi wakho ukuthi wena umthandazi. Ungadideki ukuthi umprofeti. There is a difference, guys, between umprofeti nomthandazi.
Okay.
Omunye unike umsebenzi nje ukuthi aprofete, la hamba khona uyaprofeta, uyapreacher, uyakhuluma, uyashumayela. Omunye unike umsebenzi ukuthi uthandazela amanzi, uyakunika uphuze ulashwe. Kodwa makufika ukuthi la abhule khona, dololo angeke abhule. Kodwa wena mawufika sokhuleka.
Wow, that's a good point.
You might have both of them. Ube umprofeti nomthandazi. I can speak for myself. Ukuthi ngumprofeti nomthandazi. Ngangenwa uprofeti nomthandazi.
Mkhulu, is the difference between ukuprofeta nokubhula?
Like I think we touched on one of our videos in terms of how did it come about ukuthi umoya wokubhula, umoya wobungoma got transformed into prophet. So it was the medium power being transformed so that we would not keep on getting prosecuted under the Witchcraft Suppression Act. So there really is not a large difference except for the way it's done, the methodology, and how the spirit has been transformed from idlozi legazi to idlozi lamanzi.
It sounds like you are associating Bula with umsebenzi wedlozi and uprofeti with umsebenzi wesithunywa.
At times it is, Ketla. Now understand, guys, again, you always hear me saying the intricacies of the spiritual realm. Understand what I'm saying when I'm saying the intricacies of the spiritual realm. For instance, when I was obachazela ngesikhathi masifika ukuthi why bathi umprofeta wangena ingilosi yesibhakabhaka. Because you know the type of prophetic power you're given. Nomuntu owanika amandla wokuprofeta ingilosi yasemanzini. It's two angels, two messengers, both with the gift of prophesying. But the gifts are coming in different ways. Some might use tarots, some might use amatam, some might bula ngama ruin. Ama ruin would be your Irish intlolers from England. Omunye ubhula ngomoya nje. So omunye ubhula ngamanzi. It would be the process that idlozi lakho went through. And the idlozi
ngotshwala.
Yew. Ikhehla lithatha ama-shots. Ama-shots we-Jägermeister before libhula. Yo, it happens, bro. It happens. And thus, you know, the issue is, Ketla, in the spiritual thing, we're at a point where, yes, we're having a renaissance. Yes, we're having an awakening. But we're trying to box this thing in with, no, gunalento, no, gunalento.
Yes.
And spirits is very fluid.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Hence, even the dreams that we have are similar, same. Because like another dream we didn't mention, ukuphupha ugqoke school uniform. But then someone will say, nah, we all have that, whether ungoma or weekend,
Facts.
we all have that dream. And it just adds to your point of spirit being fluid and us wanting to categorize. No, when prophet, no, when weekend, no.
Even within the secret spirits, because kunemoya ejulile yaselwandle, that's very secret. Kunemimoya emkhathini ejulile, that we are not even permitted ukuveza imfihlo zayo. Even amongst them, it's not ukuthi ulo moya lo. It's a category of them. Inzuza, inkosazane, inkanyamba, izinto eziyimfihlo, umoya wehosana, umoya ithi ngingajuli kakhulu, but you understand once you accept spirituality as what it is, that spirituality is not a religion. It is the gateway to consciousness. You will then understand how fluid it is.
I want to even say idlozi doesn't care about your religion. People don't say, Mkhulu Makhenikha uthi. No. Idlozi doesn't care about religion. Being African is about principles. And idlozi will use whatever setup you're within to teach you the principles. And if you don't learn them, well, I guess you're coming back to earth school.
Yo, no, I don't want to do it again. It's tough down here. But enye impawu Khehla ozoyibona uma umntana onesithunywa. Bakwethu, I'll just say it as it is. Lizofika idlozi likutshele. Whether through a medium or through a prophet or through a dream, bazofika kuwe bakutshele ukuthi prophet hamba uyosebenza.
Yes. Or even an ancestor that you have will say whether they took umsebenzi or not, but they'll say no, nangu umsebenzi or angithathanga umsebenzi or something like that. But you will have a dream ugogo coming to you with that kind of a message. It will happen at some point.
Because sometimes they have to be that direct, or else the symbolism is of Dita.
Mm.
Because another thing, also colorful birds. I know I went through that.
Okay.
Colorful birds, strangely colorful birds. You'll dream of a flock of doves. Ukubika ukuthi unomoya wesithunywa. But now, like we touched on ukuthi uzophuphusa esikolweni, it means unomoya, possibly umoya wesithunywa, as well inyoni could be abelozi.
Yes. Which, but I don't want to. I'm not ready to speak on that. But abalozi is very similar. You can actually explain abalozi from a prophetic perspective.
Exactly. Abomkhulu basentabeni. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I'm not ready to speak.
No, it's
on
not
that.
the time. No, it's not the time. Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to add on to what you were saying.
But I figure we've touched on most things. Whatever else, Nina, whatever else, Nina, about Prophetic, Nina Inyanga, Nan Bantwana Bomoya, you want to add, and things you've experienced, please add them in the comment section. People are not only learning from us, we are learning from you guys, and people are also learning from you guys. We appreciate those of you that add your 2 cents in the comments.
Sevala, thank you so much for tuning into Kemi TV.